Hello LHS, my name is Ethan LaMontagne and I'm the senior class president. Each year it is tradition that the outgoing senior class donates a gift to give back to the Liverpool High School community. This year, the senior class of 2022 is proud to announce the establishment of the Troy Eames Memorial Scholarship.
Troy Eames was a really special kid. He was in my English 12 classes, both English 12 literature and writing workshop.
And I was Troy's counselor back in the day, and he was just an amazing young man.
I had the pleasure of meeting Troy in 10th grade. He spent every day in AA in the library, and he was such a pleasure to have in here.
And I was lucky enough to have Troy in an 11th grade English class several years ago. And Troy was a hard-working, polite student with a really quiet, calm personality.
So I remember Troy was in class with his best friend, and they liked to compete with each other, but it was a friendly competition, and I've never forgotten this one moment where Troy, now his friend was a slightly more natural writer than him, but Troy wasn't gonna give up. Troy was always stayed positive, always kept working, was always willing to do the best he could, and one day he beat his friend by like a point, right? And they enjoyed that rivalry.
He was just a very reserved young man, but he was always very kind-hearted, and he always put everyone first.
And sometimes students like that can get lost in the shuffle because you're dealing with so many big personalities in a classroom, but not Troy. He really had this kind, caring, calming spirit about him that made him very endearing, and you were just drawn to him.
He was kind, conscientious, and worked hard. He was a true friend.
I remember Troy was always really interested in the ocean, marine life. It was really cool to get to see him use his enthusiasm and his positive energy and his interest to help him academically.
I just remember how much he loved oceanography, and he would just talk about his passion for it all the time and about marine life, which is why I wasn't surprised when he went to college for environmental studies, because I knew that was something he felt passionate about.
What I remember about him, among other things, was his really positive attitude. He was always smiling. He was willing to work really hard. Writing was something that didn't necessarily come naturally to Troy. He really had to work at it, but he was better at it than he thought he was, and he was always willing to work.
He was just an amazing young man. He was always on time. He was always respectful. He was very respectful to his peers, to teachers, to his counselor, even our principal.
I could always count on Troy's sense of humor, and if I was telling jokes or being lighthearted, I always knew that I could look over and at least count on Troy to laugh at my jokes and always offer a smile, and I don't know, just kind of take his caring, calming spirit, and it would just radiate out, and I felt calmer around him, and I really appreciated that about him, and I miss it.
He was a great warrior and was a wonderful representative of everything good about Liverpool High School.
He was a great kid, a great soul, and I will not forget him.
As some of you may know, Troy was a 2018 graduate at Liverpool High School and was attending SUNY ESF studying environmental science in hopes of becoming a park ranger. Here at LHS, we have a tight-knit community of students, staff, teachers, and alumni, and we hope to honor Troy's memory for years to come with this scholarship.